Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video here from the shop from Lucky8-Performance LLC. I hope you enjoyed the last video. We worked in the heat outside, and this time I want to show you some stuff we do here in the shop, especially stuff about that third gen Camaro. This Camaro is a project we're working together with Nicky Bobby Inc. My wife is working there, and this is one of Nick's customers, and we got two cars delivered, a 68 Camaro and this beautiful third gen, and we took the motor out of that 68 Camaro, the TH100 transmission too, and we put it in this third gen. Then we brought it back to Nick's shop. He built a beautiful hot and cold side, nice exhaust system, force performance 88mm turbos, nice downpipes, nice welds, the whole cold side up there to that Holley billet intake elbow. And we got it back last week, and we're starting to do all the wiring, all the plumbing, and all the details. We have tons of stuff already here. All the good Holley stuff, Holley dash, injector driver, Pro 600 CDI. So we're working on the wiring right now, and we just fabricated. Nick just fabricated us a plate for the passenger side to mount all the ECUs, all the wiring, all the fuses, relays that we need. Max already finished or started to clean up the main wiring harness that comes from the battery all the way to the front. The car came with a bunch of wiring, but it was kind of horrible, so we started to rip everything out. There was a big rat's nest of wiring behind this plastic dash, and so we decided to rip everything out and start from scratch. So Max already labeled all the wires and heat shrinked all the wires. We crimped on new ends with our hydraulic crimper tool, so we should have good connection to everything. We need a new battery back here. All the grounds are done. EFI negative. So all the main wiring harness, the big stuff, is already done. We have to add one or two big wires to go to the front, and then everything else will be right here on this plate. We already figured out where to put all the stuff and labeled it and drilled it. So we have the Pro 600 CDI here, the EGT module, the driver module, the Dominator itself, and then we have the wiring running here right in the center. Then we're making a little outer plate back there in the behind the dash with all the relays and all the fuses in the little fuse box. And we'll put a switch panel up here, and the big 12 and a 12.3 Holley dash will be in here. So I'm working right now on designing a coil mount. We have the Pro CDI MSD coils, and I just designed a little bracket that we will mount right here with the coils. I can show you that right now. Here, beautiful MSD coils. So I designed a little bracket here in my computer that looks like this, and we're ready to cut it out on the plasma table. It's already loaded up into the system here. Everything is centered, and I have to switch on my stuff right here, plasma, and then we can start the cut. You will probably hear the compressor starting in a second. Well, stuff like that happens sometimes. I miscalculated or mismeasured and I lost connection back there because it ran out of material. So I recentered it and I have to recut it. So we'll center this and start it again, and it should work good now, hopefully. Well, this one works way better. And we have a coil mount right here. Now we have to bend these tabs up, clean that thing, and mount the coils. Well, 2-3 minutes with the angle grinder, and the bracket is nice. So it will look like this. We have a roll cage mount, so we can mount that in the front. This plate is bolted down with this big screw in the middle. Now we will bend these up, these tabs, and then we rerun an all thread and aluminum spacers in there. Then we can run the grounds down here and bolt everything down. Boom, done. What do you think?
Looks good.
Looks good?
Custom.
Custom.
With a K.
With a K and a Z in the end. Cool. So we'll bend that now and mount it. So we'll try to bend that with our Harbor Freight special here. This little bender attachment. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, a little bit more. No. A little bit more. Get it? It looks good. Now we'll see if we messed up or not. Huh?
Close.
Close. Nice.
Close enough for hood sport.
Now we'll test fit it. And almost perfect. Just waiting for these other spacers to come in. And we can bolt that thing together. Put the nuts on the outside. And everything will be evenly spaced. Same thing on the back. We have these spacers here for the outside. And for this side. And then we have bigger spacers, I think 2.5 inch, 2.5 and 1.5 inch, or 1.25 inch right here. And then we can bolt that down on these aluminum mounts. Then we will take the whole thing and mount it right here on both sides. Right here and right there on the other side. And that will look badass because everything will be symmetrical, because my OCD tells me to do that. Everything has to be
turbo.
Yeah.
No mirror image.
That's what that's why I love mirror image turbos, but
That's pretty good though.
it's badass. It looks so great. Can't wait to see that thing running down the track fast as hell, hopefully. Cool. So I will cut out the second coil mount and we will start laying in some wires. So before we work on that other big aluminum plate, I had to test fit that right here, and it looks great. We have to scoot it up a little bit higher so we can mount the other one right there. And we have the coils right here, and we can run the wires to bulkhead connectors up there and into the car. So that will look great and clean. I like it. So Max is working on that big ass aluminum plate. We weld some tabs on here and mount it with Zeus fasteners so we can run all the wires right here. And then we have to make a little standoff so we have 3 mounting points for that plate. And Max already drilled all the holes and marked everything out, and now we have to make these holes nice. So he already drilled that for the Zeus fastener, and we will take this little tool here, put that right in, and then he will hold that straight, and we'll hammer that down so that one of these Zeus fasteners will sit right in here and is flat.
Bent the corner a little bit.
Looks great. Okay, another one. Cool. Nice. Perfect. Cool. Now we'll design some brackets and start welding them onto the bars, and then make another standoff with a tab. Back there we'll probably cut this one out, make another one right here, and then we can Zeus that plate down and start mounting all the ECUs, the Dominator, the Pro CDI, all that stuff. Okay, so Max made his way into the car somehow, and we're ready to tack weld these brackets on here, and then we can start mounting all the ECUs and stuff.
Beautiful.
So the tabs are welded in,
Here, you want to clip that line in.
and plate sits pretty flush right here. And now we have to make a third mount right here from the floor coming up, so it's not too wobbly. And then we'll see if we make a fourth one back here, but it should be pretty stable with these 3 points mounted to the body, and then we go from there. So now we'll think about how to make this standoff back here and mount it. So probably another tab welded or bolted through the floor so the tab is up here, and then another quick fastener. What do you think?
Yes.
Light man.
Yeah, I'm holding the light.
Mighty mustache.
On the light, man. Looks good.
So new day and new stuff here in the shop at Lucky8-Performance. Yesterday we worked on this car, you saw that, and we're pretty packed right now. So we have an H2 to swap in a rear end. We have this 1-ton truck with a nice 454, low miles, under 100,000. Some electrical problems, but not a whole lot. We spent the day today working on Larry's project truck, and I want to give you a small update, and we're ready to start it. If you watched the first video I posted, you saw this cool 03 GMC truck. I can show you some details. We just finished up the battery box right here. It's actually the cooler with a breaker, all the connectors, all the Holley stuff is connected. We ran the main power lines today. The car is equipped with a big Holley dash and the little screen here. We're still working on the car, so there's a mess. We decided to rip out all the stock wiring, like everything, and not using the stock fuse box. So this is our electrical center here. It looks kind of wild right now because some stuff is just connected to test it. So we have the Holley terminator X here, all the relays up here. I built that little box, that little bracket here. We have a relay box, we have a fuse box for all that stuff, and this is the heart of the project. It's a 6-liter with upgraded internals, a little Vortec supercharger. We built that charge pipe here and stuff, did all the wiring. It's connected to a 480 transmission and a big ass 5-inch 7 or 8 foot long aluminum drive shaft, and we're working on testing some stuff, and we are ready to start it in a second. We have to lift it up because we just primed the fuel system and made a base map on the Terminator with the little wizard tool that we have on that little screen, and we saw there's one little drip where the fuel filter is, so we lift the truck up, we'll fix that, and I'll show you the exhaust and the underneath. That's the new old rear end for that H2. That bracket is missing on the other rear end. It's basically rusted off. So we got a rear end from the junkyard, and my beautiful wife over there spent the day and cleaned it up a little bit, and we will take stuff off, the calipers, all the brake stuff, wheel bearings, rebuild the rear end. We already removed most of the surface rust, so there is no holes, no nothing. And then we're ready to put it in that H3, so it's ready for sale. It's also a customer car. It's a local used car dealer, and he's bringing us the cars and trucks and vehicles for service, for inspections, for fixing bigger stuff like that, or just doing oil changes, whatever. So back to that truck. You see here a very nice, beautiful pink quick performance 9-inch rear end with a custom shock mounts and shock bar here on top that we built here in-house. Nice Wilbur brakes. The brake's not connected yet, but we'll work on that when the drive line is basically done. And when these guys fix the little fuel leak, I can show you what we did exhaust wise. So we have long tube headers right here coming down here. There's badass light down here. I installed that on my 4-post lift. It's perfect for welding or for blinding you. So I can show you the exhaust right here. So we have the long tube headers right here, and then V-band, some flex pipe, custom cross member, and then we made a crossover pipe that goes to that bracket that I built on the CNC table. So the bracket is bolted onto the frame, so you can take off these mufflers anytime you need. I don't know if you guys ever saw these mufflers. That's an Australian company actually called called X-Force, and that's their Varix mufflers. So you have an electric motor up here on both of them, and you have an internal cutout right here. So if the cutout is closed, it basically go through a chambered section or muffled section here and comes out the same tailpipe. Oop, I lost my thing. And if you open these valves in here on both of them, you basically straight piped. So I will build the exhaust down here, then we go up here and go out the bed side right here. So it will be basically right here, two nice 3.5-inch tips. Okay, we'll connect that little 12-volt battery to these two wires that connected to the thing, and then we can show you how to open these valves with a little remote.
Milwaukee for the win.
Milwaukee for the win. Right. Okay, so now it's connected, and Larry has the remote. Okay, click it more. So every time you click it, it opens about like 10-15 more %. One more. Okay, now we full open. So now it's a straight pipe muffler. It's basically a straight pipe exhaust if you open this valve. Then we connect it to the other one.
Oh, one-handed is not ideal.
No, not really.
It.
I will click. And Larry has the remote, and then you just click it or you hold the button and it opens all the way. So now we have two
that works way better than
straight pipe mufflers right here. And now we'll let that thing down and start it up.
That thing opened quick.
That works way better with barracks mufflers than.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that stuff.
Knockoffs or the other ones.
I use these on my Caprice because when I built my Caprice in Austria, there's like extreme noise restrictions and all that stuff. So I swapped my Caprice. I will show in a separate video when we put that nice new motor in there. And if you close them, they basically, I mean, they rob you a little bit of power probably because it goes through a chambered section here and comes out of that. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, these little holes basically. And if you if you open the valve, it goes straight through. So you have all the power. So, yep. We'll let the truck down now and start it, and you will probably hear how good it sounds. We use a stock fuel tank with an Aeromotive drop-in pump system. It's all AN wire, it's all AN lines, it's all wired in here. We use a Corvette regulator. Everything is easy to remove, just in case we have to drop the fuel tank. And then we run all the lines and stuff, and it's pretty clean in here. And because it's Larry's wife's truck, actually, that was a request that we have a pink Ford 9-inch rear end. I mean, at least in the center, we painted the rest here silver. Okay, we light it down and start it.
Yeah, I just press the button until it grinds.
So I will stand up here.
Just tell me when.
And because it's Felicia's truck, she can start it with a push of a button because the starter is not connected to the ignition switch yet. The exhaust is full open now, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we don't burn to the ground here.
All right, Larry, you ready?
Ready?
Go for it.
You ready? So you see, started right up, sounds good.
I love it.
Needs a lot of tuning, but
It does. It does.
yeah, cool.
It does.
Feel good.
So now we finished the rest of the wiring and the fans and all that stuff. Put the truck back together, finish our electrical center right here. And put up some hose clamps. We probably have to change the map sensor in the back to an LS9 map sensor. Because this is just a stock
I know. I was like,
truck map sensor. And then we go from there. So Max will hook up our power stuff again. Oh, it's already hooked up. So what we figured out is that because one of our vacuum fittings back there is missing because we don't have an M12 hose barb fitting, and nobody has, we just removed the blow-off valve here because we tried to start it, and when I try to give some gas here, and it overpressurizes the charge pipe and it basically shuts the throttle body again.
Too much bald eagles going through
It's too much bald eagles with no vacuum on the blow off, so it keeps it shut. So we'll try to start it again without that and see if it runs a little bit better.
Let me look at the oil pressure.
And we should have the fittings in next week, and then
Got the big dash working?
we plumb the vacuum booster and the blow-off valve, and then we shouldn't have a problem at all. You ready?
Ready?
Okay. But Max, come out and pull the wire just in case.
Which one is it?
Because we don't have an ignition switch yet, so everything is just hooked to power. So Max is our ignition switch now.
Oh, ignition guy here.
The ignition guy.
You ready, my friend?
Yep.
Lot of air.
Okay, way better. That thing pushes a lot of air. That's
Lot of air.
incredible. Very cool. We have a little smoke down there, so we'll investigate if there's a leak somewhere. But starts right up, and we're very happy about that. Yeah, it's probably just hand oil on the headers. It's the first time we started a truck. Man, it pushes tons of air out of here for that little motor. I'm very happy about that. It's probably 5 psi idle. And look at these nice race part solutions. Quick seal clamps. I love that because there's still wiggle room, so it won't break off anywhere. Okay, that's it for today. That's it for this video, and we'll see you guys next week.